right, guys. Hi, welcome back to your day 2 of lesson 24. We're going to start off with our pink arrow today, and our pink arrow says, I can read 1 and 2 syllable words and am able to break them into syllables. Remember, a syllable is a word part. So I am going to give you guys a word today, and you are going to break it into syllables. You are going to tell me how many syllables are in each word. So remember, clap it out for me. So for example, midnight would be midnight. It has 2 syllables. Okay, next one, myself. Clap it out. How many syllables? Okay, monkey. Clap out monkey. How many syllables? September. Clap that one out. How many syllables? Okay, backpack. Clap it out. How many syllables? Person. I am a person. Clap out person. How many syllables? And our last one is understand. Clap out understand. How many syllables? Okay. We're going to move on to our purple arrow. Our purple arrow says, I can tell how words are used in real life. Okay, so your words for this week, remember, are completely, gentle, lonely, recognize, reflection, and settle. We're going to talk about a couple of these words today. First one, if you live in New York, you can see these gentle insects at the Bronx Zoo. Remember what that word gentle means. So if that insect, that butterfly that was in our story from yesterday, if he is or she is a gentle insect, what does that word gentle mean? So think about that word for a minute. Okay. And show me or tell someone at home, what would it look like if you were, how would you be gentle when you picked up a kitten? So how would you be gentle when you pick up a kitten? So if I'm going to pick up my puppy, remember, I am going to pick her up gently, okay? I didn't pick her up hard. I was gentle. I was kind. I was careful, okay? So I picked her up gently. So how would you pick up a kitten and make it and show that you are gentle? Okay, so think about that word gentle and talk about how you would pick up a kitten if you were gentle. Okay, the butterflies at that zoo were never lonely. What would make someone feel lonely? What is something that would make someone feel lonely? Okay, and use that word lonely as you're talking about it. Okay, like I would feel lonely if I didn't have my puppies with me. If I didn't have Bella and I didn't have Benny who's over there, I would feel lonely. There he is. Okay, so tell me what is something that would make somebody feel lonely. Okay, and then what I need you to do too is pause the video for a sec and grab yourself a piece of paper and make yourself a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star sentence using one of these words. Okay, remember a 1-star just has the who and the what. A 2-star has the who, the what, and the where. And a 3-star sentence has the who, the what, the where, and then an adjective describing one of those words in the sentence. Okay, so pick one of these words for today and write it in a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star sentence. Okay, make sure to start your sentence with a capital, finger spaces in between, and end your sentence with a period. Okay, next we will be moving on to our gray arrow. Our gray arrow says, I can read first grade words that aren't spelt the way they sound. Okay, our first grade words for today are earth, almost, covers, warms. Okay, one more time, earth, almost, covers, warms. Your turn. Think about it. Spell it. Say it again. Think about it. Spell it. And say it again. And next one. Spell it. And say it again. And our last one. Spell it. Say it again. Okay, on this page, you guys are going to read it as my finger slides all by yourself. And remember, if you have problems with these words, pause it, try it again. Here we go. Okay. All right, next up, we are going to move on to that red arrow. Okay, our red arrow says, I can put sounds together to speak words. Remember, your sounds for this week are all of those ghostly sounds. That sound a ghost makes, that ooh, spooky sound. Okay, so O-O is going to say ooh, mostly in the middle of a word. Sometimes at the end, like in zoo or in moo. Okay, O-U is going to say ooh in the middle of a word. EW is going to say ooh at the end of a word. UE is going to say ooh at the end of a word. U by itself is going to say ooh in the middle or sometimes at the end, like in stew. Okay, like a name stew. And then UE is going to say that ooh sound. Okay, we're going to go through only 2 sound cards today. So we're going to go through our moon sound card and then our cook sound card from last week. Okay, here we go. Card, moon, sound ooh, spelling O-O. Sound ooh, spelling E-W. Sound ooh, spelling U-E. Sound ooh, spelling O-U. Sound ooh, spelling U. And sound ooh, spelling U, consonant E. Your turn. Card, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling, sound, spelling. Okay, and our last one, card, cook, sound spelling O-O. Your turn. Card, sound, spelling. Okay, I'm going to go through our sounds on here. I will do each row first, and then you will copy me. Okay, this one, remember, has 2 sounds. It has the or oo. R, oo, Your turn. Or, sound. Okay, ooh, or, ooh, Your turn. R, ch, oo, O. Your turn. Ooh, ooh, Your turn. Perfect. Okay, then we're going to move on to that black arrow. That black arrow says, I can read out loud like a teacher. We're going to go through some sound by sound on my board, so stick with me. Okay, here we go. First one, sound. And then that ghostly sound. Put it together. And my word is, okay, remember, this is not the color blue, okay? This is like I blew up a balloon. Blue. Sound. Ghostly sound. Put it together. Sound. Put it together. And my word is sound. Ghostly sound. Put it together. Sound. Put it together. And my word is sound. Sound. Okay, this one's going to say the U sound this time. Sound. Put it together. And my word is sound. Sound. And my word is, one more time, sound. Ghostly sound. Put it together. Word is, with an S on the end. And my word is, like Benny right now in belly, they have choose. My word is, okay, sound. Ghostly sound. Word is, or sound is so far. Sound. Put it together. Word is, hey. Pause the video if any of those gave you problems and practice those again for me, because remember, we want to read those out loud like a teacher. The more you practice, the better reader you become. Okay, on our next page, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to put my finger underneath each word. And then as my finger slides, you tell me the word. So think about it for a moment. Think about it. Think about it. This one right here is hard because EW is not saying the oo sound. So I don't know why they included this one. That word is few. Remember to really think about that ghostly sound because that ghostly sound pops up in most of these, if not all of them. And make that ghostly sound, that ooh sound as you're practicing it. Okay, again, pause that video if any of these gave you some problems and practice that page again if you need to. Okay, we're going to go through and we're going to read our story for this week, for today. Okay, so our story for today is called Moon News. You can either choose to read this story with me right now, or you can find it on Think Central and read it on your own, but make sure to read it at least 3 times, okay? All right, Moon News. This is our moon. We can see the moon at night. We cannot see it at noon. That's a scoop. No moon at noon. Okay, practice that page in your head. And remember, I'm not going to wait too long here, so put it on pause for me. And then when you're done practicing in your head, unpause me. Okay, follow along with my finger. And then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. This is a full moon. It can look white, it can look yellow, it can look almost red. The moon is covered with dust and rocks. Practice that page in your head. Follow along with my finger. And then read that page out loud like a teacher one more time. This is a new moon. It looks like a slice of a moon, but it is not a moon slice. A new moon shows just the part that is lit up. Okay, practice that page in your head for me. Follow with my finger. And then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. This moon chart shows the ways the moon can look from Earth. It starts with the new moon on day 1, and it shows the full moon on day 14. Okay, practice that page in your head. Follow with my finger. Okay, and then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. Look at this painting. It shows the moon and stars. Did the person who painted this have fun with the moon? How can you tell? Practice that page in your head. Follow along with my finger. Or read along with my finger. And then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. This painting shows the moon. This painting shows what the moon shone on. It's shown on land. It's shown on trees. Trees gleam in the moon's glow. Okay, practice this page in your head. Sorry. Okay, follow along with my finger. And then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. This painting shows the moon. This painting shows what the moon shone on. It's shown on water. Water gleams in the moon's glow. Practice that page for me in your head. Follow along with my finger. And then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. Okay, last page, moon song. I like to look at the moon and hope to visit it soon. You can come too. You can be in my crew. Practice that page in your head. Follow along, read along with my finger. And then read that out loud like a teacher one more time. Perfect. Okay, next up I need you guys to get yourself a piece of paper and a pencil because we're going to practice a few spelling words, okay? So here we go on our yellow paper, and if you didn't get your paper and pencil yet, put me on pause real quick before I move on because I'm going to give you your words soon. Okay, so yellow arrow says, I can use sight words and spelling patterns to help me spell words correctly. Okay, we are going to use our moon card again today. So I'm going to help you out because remember, those sounds are tricky and it's hard to figure out when to use which one when. Okay, so first one, boot. I put on a cowboy boot today, boot. Okay, so my card, my ooh sound, boot. We're going to use this one. So think about your beginning sound in boot. This is your middle sound. And what's your ending sound? Boot. Beginning sound, middle sound, ending sound in boot. Okay, next one, soup. I like a hot bowl of soup. This is the sound we're going to use in soup. Think about your beginning sound, your middle sound, and your ending sound in soup. Okay, next one, clues. I'm giving you clues on which sounds to use in your words today. Clues. You're going to use this sound in the word clues. Think about your beginning sound, which is a blend, so two letters that say cool, and then your ending sound, clues. Okay, and our last one, Drew. Drew is a name, okay? This is going to be the name Drew. So think about how we spell our names. Is it going to start with a capital or a lowercase if it's a name? Okay, so the name is Drew. Think about the beginning blend in Drew. So the two letters that say Dr, and then that's the sound you're going to use. Drew. Okay, so your beginning sound in Drew, and that is your ending sound. Drew. Okay, hold tight because we have one more arrow today that we are going to do. Okay, so our last arrow for today is I can understand the first grade text I have read. I'm going to read you our story for this week, and then we are going to talk about what we're going to do with this story today, okay? So our story for this week is called A Tree is a Plant, okay? And we are going to talk about a few things as we go through our story. A tree is a plant. Okay, a tree is a plant. A tree is the biggest plant that grows. Most kinds of trees grow from seeds, the way most small plants do. There are many kinds of trees. Here are a few of them. How many have you recognized? We've got a maple tree. Remember, all of these little things are labels. They are labeling the different kinds of trees. So we've got a maple, conifer trees, persimmon tree, lemon tree, palm tree, and a willow tree right here. Remember, you need to this is going to be one of your things on your list to do today, is to read the story. And you can find it under Think Central. This tree grows in the country. It might grow in your yard too. Do you know what kind it is? That tree is an apple tree. This is an apple tree. This apple came from a seed. The seed was small. It grew inside an apple. Have you ever seen an apple seed? Ask an adult to help you cut an apple in two. The seeds are in the center and they look like this. Most apple trees come from seeds. They are planted. Sometime an apple tree grows from a seed that falls to the ground. The wind blows the leaves over the seed and the wind blows soil over the seed. So some people can plant apple seed by just planting a seed itself, but sometimes that seed can do it all by itself. So if it falls out of that apple falls to the ground and breaks open and the seed comes out, okay, then the wind will blow the leaves over the seed, and then the wind blows the soil over the seed, and then it kind of works its way down in there, okay? All winter, the seed lies under the leaves and the soil. All winter, the seed lies under ice and snow, and it's pushed into the ground. Spring comes, rain falls, the sun comes out and warms the earth. The seed begins to grow. At first, the young plant does not look like a tree. The tree is very small. It is only a stem with 2 leaves. It has no apples on it. A tree must grow before it has apples on it. Each year the tree grows. It grows tall, and in 7 years, it is so tall that you can stand under its branches. In the spring, there are blossoms on the tree. Spring is apple blossom time. So all of these little flowers on the tree, when it's spring, an apple tree will get a bunch of little flowers. Those little flowers are called blossoms. Okay, and it takes 7 years for that tree to grow that tall. So think about it. Some of you are about 7 now. Most of you are 7 now. So at your age, that tree will be a big adult tree. Okay, so remember, our apple tree started out as a little seed. Okay, it got pushed down in the ground in winter, and then in spring it starts to grow. Okay, so in 7 years it's growing tall, and as it grows tall in spring is when those blossoms or those flowers come out. And also think about what comes out in spring too, because a bunch of those bees will be buzzing around that apple tree. The last blossom lasts only a few days. Then they fall to the ground. Now there are green leaves on the tree. Among the leaves there are small apples. The apples are where the blossoms were before. The apples are green and they are almost too small for you to see. The apples grow slowly. They grow all during the spring and the summer. Okay, so the blossoms are those little flowers. They're only on that tree for a few days. Then they fall and the leaves come through and you see all those little green little dots on those trees. Those are where the small apples are starting to grow. In the fall, they are large and ripe. They are ready to eat. They can see the apples and the leaves on the branches. We can see the branches growing out of the trunk. We can see the trunk growing out of the ground. We can see the bark off the tree. The bark covers the branches and the trunk like a coat. But there is a part of the tree that we cannot see. So think about it. What's the part of the tree that you can't see? If you said roots, you guessed it. We cannot see the roots. They are under the ground. Some of the roots are large. Some of them are as small as hairs. The roots grow like branches under the ground. A tree could not live without roots. Roots hold the trunk in the ground. Roots help keep the tree from falling when the wind blows. Roots keep the rain from washing the tree out of the ground. Roots do something more. They take water from the ground, they carry the water to the trunk of the tree, and the trunk carries the water to the branches. The branches carry the water to the leaves. Okay, so the roots, they have a couple of jobs for that tree. Okay, so they hold that tree trunk up, they help hold the tree up. Okay, so they keep the tree from falling over. They're kind of like the anchor. They hold that tree still. Okay, but then they also help to suck water up. Okay, so those roots suck the water out of the ground, goes up into the trunk, and spreads to the leaves of the tree so that the whole tree can get its water. Hundreds and hundreds of leaves grow on the branches. The leaves make food from water and air. They make food when the sun shines. The food goes onto the branches, then it goes into the trunk and the roots into every part of the tree. Okay, so it gets its water from the soil, but then over here, the sun is where it helps to get its food. Okay, so the tree kind of makes its own food from the sun, with the help of the sun. So as the sun shines on the trees, if you look at our little arrows, okay, it goes down into the trees, down into the leaves, down into the trunk, and then down into the roots. Fall comes and winter is near. The work of the leaves is over. The leaves turn yellow and brown. The leaves die and fall to the ground. Now the tree is bare. All winter it looks dead, but the tree is not dead. Under its coat of bark, the tree is alive. So that bark kind of helps protect that tree during the winter and keeps that tree alive. Spring comes again. Rain falls. The sun warms the earth, the tree blossoms, and new leaves grow. As long as it lives, the apple tree grows. As long as it lives, the apple tree blossoms. In the spring, the apples will grow on it. And it kind of starts all over again. So it's kind of like a life cycle, okay? Our apple tree goes in a circle. Okay, so it starts out in the spring with apple blossoms. The apple blossoms fall off. Then we get some leaves in our apples. Then our apples grow. Okay, and then they kind of get big, 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 and then in fall, they will fall, they get so heavy that the tree can't hold it, they fall to the ground, and that's when you can eat them. So anyway, when do you like apples best? In spring when they are covered, when do you like apple trees best? In spring when they are covered with blossoms, in summer when they are covered with leaves, in winter when they are bare, or in fall when they are covered with apples. Okay, all right, so here is our job for today. Okay, here's what you are going to do. You need to get yourself a piece of paper, and then we are going to fold it into 3 parts. Okay, so remember, I'm going to take the first part, fold it down a little ways, about halfway through, crease it, and then I'm going to take my bottom half and I'm going to meet it at the top. Okay, and then I have 3 sections on my paper. Today, we are going to label each section 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to put a 1 in the box in the first one, a 2 with a box in my second section, and a 3 in the box with my third section. Okay, so when you're done, your paper will look something like this. We are going to talk about our apple tree today. At the beginning of our story, our apple tree was just starting to grow. Okay, and then I talked about what it looked like through the seasons. We're not going to so much talk about the seasons today. We're going to save that for tomorrow's job. Okay, but what I want you to do is I want you to think about very at the beginning of the story. Okay, I'm going to go way back to the beginning of my story. Okay, and kind of on this page is where it kind of starts. Okay, so I want you to think about that apple tree. What happens first in order for an apple tree to grow? Okay, so write me a good strong sentence that tells me what happened first when that apple tree, how to get an apple tree to grow. Okay, so for example, if I were writing this right now, I would say first the seed falls to the ground. Okay, and I could even tell about kind of what happens as that seed falls to the ground. Okay, so what happens first to get that apple tree to grow? Okay, then what happens second? What happens second to get that apple tree, to have that apple tree grow? So we talk about our seed maybe in the first one. What happens next? How does an apple tree grow? What happens next as it's growing? Okay, and then lastly, what happens at the very end with my apple tree? With the end, think about how you could add in there, how long does it take an apple tree to grow up so that it's nice and tall and big? Okay, so we're thinking about what happens first, second, and third to grow an apple tree. Okay, so what's the first thing that needs to happen to grow an apple tree? What's the second thing that happens to grow an apple tree? And what's the third thing that happens to grow an apple tree? Okay, so your assignments for today. You have a lot to do today. You need to make sure that you read Moon News, either with me in this video or by yourself. You need to read your story, A Tree is a Plant. Okay, and I read it to you today, but I want you to go back and practice reading that on your own or having someone help you read it. Okay? So read that for me, and you can find that story, remember, on Think Central. Okay, and then after you read A Tree is a Plant, I want you to go through and I want you to create your paper like this. Okay, think about what happens first as you grow an apple tree, second, and third. Okay, and then you also have a couple of worksheets that your job is for today. So once you've got all that done, that is it for today. Okay, thank you guys. See you later.